Hi guys, what's up and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please consider subscribing, and you probably are because this is my very first video. So if you want to have the opportunity to be one of the first subscribers of this up and coming next big thing on YouTube, please subscribe. This is your once in a lifetime opportunity. But for real, let's get to the video, and thank you very much for watching. So as I was laying in bed a couple days ago, I had another existential crisis, as we probably all have. At least I hope so, otherwise it would be pretty sad for me. But I was thinking about my life and other stuff and how all of this is pretty much going downhill, but I was also thinking about VR and VR headsets. And how VR headset might just replace laptops. And yeah, by the end of this video you will probably see what I mean by that and why I think this is actually the case. But let's start at the beginning. I don't know whether you heard of it, but this is the Valve Steamdeck. What's a Steamdeck, you may ask? Well, it's a device that's looking pretty similar to the Nintendo Switch, but of course it is not a Nintendo Switch. What is the main differentiator here is that the Steam Deck is pretty much just the internals of a normal laptop condensed into the form factor similar to that of the Nintendo Switch. That means that the internals of the Steam Deck are pretty much just the same as a laptop. It runs on an AMD APU, which means it does not have a dedicated graphics card, but an AMD processor integrated with graphics chip. And as you might remember from the early days, integrated graphics were pretty bad. You might remember the Intel HD 520, 620 integrated graphics, and those were really bad, but I can promise you APUs have come a long way, and I already played Forza Horizon 4 on an APU myself on 1080p low settings with about, I don't know, 30 to 40 FPS, and I can tell you they really have come a long way. So this Steam Deck is running this AMD APU together with 16GB of RAM and normal SSD, and yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course it has an internal battery just like the Nintendo Switch, some thumbsticks, you can all see it here in the back. But what's really interesting is that it's running Steam OS, which is an operating system based on Linux. Therefore it will be possible to play almost all your Steam games on this Steam Deck. They already showed off games like Doom Eternal, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order or Ghost Runner. For example, they also showed Control, and those are all pretty much AAA titles. And of course you have to remember the screen resolution, as I can remember, is only 600 by 800, so it's not the highest resolution, but because the Steam Deck is pretty small, this should just do the trick. But what's really awesome about it is that Valve already told us that it will be possible to install pretty much anything you want on it. Because the Steam Deck is pretty much just laptop internals condensed into the form factor of the Nintendo Switch, or just a little bit bigger, it will also be possible, for example, to install every other Linux distro you want, to also install other launchers alongside with Steam. For example, Valve specifically said that it will be possible to install the Epic launcher, or to install Uplay, whatever you want, and it even will be possible to install a completely different operating system, for example, Windows. So that means that the Steam Deck is pretty much just a little computer in the form factor of the Nintendo Switch, and even more interesting, Valve already told us and actually showed us that it will also be possible to just connect your monitor via USB-C, to connect your keyboard and your mouse, and to just use the Steam Deck as a normal computer, because looking at the internals, it pretty much is just a normal computer or just your normal laptop. So that's the Steam Deck, and it really does sound awesome. But what's really interesting here is that a couple weeks ago there were leaks showing that the Steam Deck is indeed capable of running VR application. There was somebody out there who got Steam VR running on the Steam Deck, which should be in theory pretty easy because you can just install Windows, just install Steam, and therefore just as easily install Steam VR. And they showed actually that it is possible, which would be huge for VR because you could actually play AAA PC games in VR on the go with the Steam Deck. But wait, it doesn't end there. The developers of the Steam Deck actually already told us that it would be theoretically possible to play some VR games, at least those whose minimum requirements are actually fulfilled by the Steam Deck, but they told us that this would be theoretically possible. But then A couple weeks after that, there were leaks regarding the Steamdeck, which is rumored to be the next standalone VR headset by Valve. And that means that it's pretty likely that Valve is working on just putting the internals of the Steam Deck into a fully standalone VR headset, which would then be able to run Steam VR and Steam VR games, at least somehow, because the hardware most likely won't be as powerful as the hardware in your computer right now, but it would be able to run Steam VR and Steam VR titles just natively on the headset, which is super awesome. And what I was thinking about a couple nights ago is that if I can use my Steam Deck via USB-C with my monitor and my keyboard and my mouse, couldn't I just use my headset and plug in a USB-C dongle and connect my monitor, my Bluetooth mouse and maybe my keyboard? Yeah, I probably can, because this headset might just work just like the Steam Deck, which would be extremely awesome. But then I thought to myself, wait, this is stupid. Because why on earth would I even use my monitor? The Quest 2 has already shown us that it is possible to just simulate monitors in VR, for example using a software like Virtual Desktop. And then Oculus has already also shown us that it is actually possible to connect your keyboard and your mouse to your Oculus Quest 2. So for me, there's no reason why the next Steamdeck VR headset couldn't do that too. And if the Steamdeck headset is anything like the Steam Deck, it might even just be possible to install a completely new OS on this headset. And that means if Microsoft was to come out with at least some version of Windows, I don't know, maybe Windows 11 VR, that actually properly supports VR, which would be a completely new VR operating system, I don't see any reason why I should even consider using my monitor with my VR headset, because initially I was just thinking, well, that's funny, I can just leave my laptop at home and use my VR headset and plug that one into my monitor and use it as my computer, haha, that's funny. Then I thought, well, it wouldn't make any sense. With this Steam VR headset, I would have the capabilities of using as many monitors as I could possibly want without even having to have a monitor. And with a laptop, I do have the problem that if I would bring it, I only have so much screen to work with, meaning if I have a 14-inch laptop, I only have a 14-inch laptop. If I would have some VR headset running some VR first operating system, I could probably just have as many monitors as I want and as I could possibly need. And I think that is really, really awesome, because in actual fact, I don't see why this wouldn't be something we would want going into the future. There are only two main problems I see here. And the first one is that VR might be just too near in exclamation marks, but I really don't know how else to put it. For example, if I listen to music or a YouTube video, sometimes I just listen to it using my external speakers, because I just don't want headphones over my head and don't want the music blasting right into my ears, and I just want to feel more connected with my environment, and I have the feeling that headphones somehow disconnect me from the actual real world. And of course, that would also extremely be the case with a VR headset, because yeah, of course, you would just arrive at your destination, and if you wanted to work, you would just put on your VR headset, and then you're completely disconnected with the outside world. However, this problem could actually be resolved with AR headsets, which would then be able to actually show you your surroundings and at least somehow put you back in your kinda natural environment. The second problem I see here is actually working together. For example, if I go to university and I have my laptop with me, of course I want to do some work on my own, but at times I also want to share my work and get my fellow students around me and show them what I've just done, and maybe discuss about the topic that I've just worked on and just be able to show them right away what I've done. And of course, working in a completely virtual environment, this might be pretty difficult, because as long as not every other student in my university does have a VR headset just as the default, it might be pretty challenging to show them what I've just worked on. So that might actually be a problem that needs further development to actually circumvent this, because I actually think it might be possible to make some kind of software which would stream the content of your VR headset to another PC or to another laptop to actually show your friends what you're doing or what you were just doing. But apart from these two problems, I actually don't see why VR should not replace laptops. Because as I already told you, I would just need one device. I could, if I wanted to share my work with others and there is a monitor available, could maybe plug it into the monitor. I can have as many monitors as I want. I could just have my keyboard, my mouse just as I'm used to, but have the workspace I need everywhere. And just, yeah, there is no need to have a laptop or an external monitor or something like it. I could just bring, and I would just bring my VR headset, and I think that would be actually pretty awesome, as long as someone out there invents something which prevents me being completely disconnected with my outside world, because that would be pretty disastrous. Because I think that we are already working way too often and way too long on our computers and just sitting in front of a screen, and of course it wouldn't be any better to just have the screen pretty much glued to our face at all times. So that might be a problem that needs further investigation and further development. But what do you think about this whole topic? I, for my part, actually think that VR will at some point replace laptops, because I thought about this, like, I don't know, maybe a couple minutes, and I actually think it all makes too much sense to be ignored. So what do you think? Please leave me a comment down in the comment section. If you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe. And I know this video might have been just a little lengthy because I am just getting started with this channel and English is not my first language and this is my very first video, so I might just have problems to actually describe what I mean, which could lead to longer sentences, which then of course leads to longer videos. But I hope this first video was okay as it is. If it was, as I said, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment telling me what you think about it. And apart from that, I just hope you stay healthy and have a good time. See you soon.
Beep, beep, I'm a sheep,